Hey everyone, it's LR. Tonight I've got a quick video on player actions in Feet First into Hell. I know there was some chatter on the Discord about wanting to see how these different player actions worked. So I thought tonight I'll put together a quick few-minute video and show you how all the different main player actions work. And then I'll follow up with another short video on reactions and a short video on some special actions that you might encounter in certain game types or just in weird scenarios that might emerge in a game with as many options as Feet First into Hell. As of making this video, we're at $900 on the Kickstarter, which is like 600 or 700% funded. It's fantastic. So we're fully funded. The books are going to be going out as soon as I get them back from the printer, and the PDFs will be going out even sooner than that. So whatever, I don't want to talk too much about that. Rather, I'd like to show you the basics of how this game works. So Feet First into Hell is an alternating activation war game, although there are some ways to disrupt that chain. We can get that to a separate time. So I've got my boy here, Leodrin, from my drop team, Leodrin's Lions. He is modeled on an Astartes, oh boy, what were these guys called? Primaris Captain, I think, or Primaris Lieutenant maybe. But he's got a plasma sword and a pistol, which is what Leodrin normally runs. And I've got a couple dice, and I've got my ruler. So that is all I need basically as a player, that and my single page of rules. That's it. That's all that you need to really play the game. So Leodrin has a couple options when it's his turn to activate, which is what I call being eligible. He has not acted yet, and so he's able to activate during a turn. The first, most basic move or action is the move, which for Leodrin, because he's wearing Aegis Armor Mark II, is only 5 inches. So to do that, I would measure from the edge of the model, or if you're a middle of the model guy, do that, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as Leodrin can move in that tanky power armor. It's different for each unit though. Some move 6 inches, some move 7 inches. Some of the equipment and gear that you can give them allow them to move a little bit farther than that. But that's a move. That eats one of the 2 action points that you generate each turn. The next one is shoot. So, in classic video game tutorial mode, I want Leodrin to shoot at this red barrel. To do that, I check his stats, and his pistol is 2d6. It's kind of like it's got 2, pop, pop, you know. So he's going to roll 2d6, and I'm always checking that against his rating. Rating is the quality of the unit. The lower the rating score, the better. And it's used to check accuracy. So I kind of think of it as like, who's number 1? That's the best one, right? So Leodrin's, because of he's an elite, and because of his armor, his rating is 2, which is as low as it can actually get. And he rolls, and of course I roll snake eyes in my tutorial video, so I miss both shots. I'll try that again. Okay, so the 3 hits. Spectacular. I am a below average roller. I don't know if you know that about me. So I would hit this once, and 1 would miss. I call that discarding the misses. So that is the shooting action. Different guns roll different amounts of dice, different guns do different damage, and they have different ranges. So the next action is fight. So Leodrin really needs to pry open this drop pod in order to get at the weapons that are inside, because that is one of the features of one of the game modes. So in order to fight or to act physically against an object in the world, Leodrin is going to need to check with his might score. And again, because he's an elite, his might score would normally be 3, but because of that Aegis armor, his score is actually going to be, it's actually 1. It's actually the lowest it can possibly get. So there's no way for me to realistically fail this roll unless there is an extenuating circumstance acting against it. So I would roll it, and this time I succeed. I roll a 3, and he's able to inflict damage against that and able to open up and hopefully able to equip himself a little bit better. Let's see. My next one would be focus. Focusing is kind of an interesting action because it happens out of sequence with some of the other actions. So let's say I have a sneaky little rebel infantryman over there. It's one of my 1-page rules, Eternal Dynasty or Undying Dynasty, whatever, town knockoffs. I like them. I think they look really cool. It's like a blend of Japanese aesthetic with like World War I trench aesthetic. It's really interesting. So Leodrin is going to have to shoot. Let's get him within 6 inches. He's going to have to shoot at this guy. But we're in pistol range, and Leodrin isn't sure if he'll be able to hit him. So what he can do is he can take the action focus before he shoots or before he fights. And when you focus, you can re-roll the lower one lower dice, and you retain the better result. So I'm going to shoot twice, and of course I roll super high this time, but because I focused, hell, why not try to get a 6? It's not happening. I would retain the higher result, which was the original 5. And so pop, pop, he would hit this guy. And normally this character would be partially in cover, but we'll talk about that later on. That's different. So that's focusing. It lets you re-roll the lower of one low dice in your attack, whether it's melee or in ranged. And then we're down to retreat is the last main action. So despite Leodrin's massive size, this guy has gone Insano style, and Leodrin is on the verge of death. Oh, I'm actually skipping one, but that's okay. We'll back up. So Leodrin's on the verge of death. He knows if he gets hit one more time, he's going to go down. So I can spend 2 action points in order to break base contact, which you normally can't do, and back up to my speed, which is 5 inches with him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I break base contact, and I can back up to 5 inches. Now that takes 2 action points, and if I retreat, I cannot retaliate. So that will make more sense when I get into the reactions video. So strategic retreat is not a bad thing, but it can prevent you from protecting yourself later on. The very last action is not really a visual one, it's a recovery action, and so you cannot move when on the same turn that you recover. So if you've moved, then you can't recover. If you recover, then you can't move. And what it allows you to do is to regenerate half of your max shield points, because almost every character comes with some regenerative shields. So as long as I have not moved and I do not have an enemy within 1 inch, then I'm able to regenerate. So can't regenerate, can't recover, can recover, right? It's kind of like the Halo rules is the way that I thought about it. And it seems to be a pretty good balance because it encourages you to not just hold the ground forever. When your shields buckle, you've lost some rechargeable hit points. You want to get out of there. So it does incentivize cover play. It incentivizes more tactical thinking about movement and troop placement. So it's a pretty neat one. So that's it. Those are the main actions. Move, shoot, fight, focus, recover, and retreat. We've got a whole list of special actions that I'll cover in another short video, and we've got 3 reactions that I'm going to cover in the next video. So subscribe if you're into wargaming. Check out the Kickstarter if you want to back it. It's up for another 15 days, I think. And we're working towards the $1,000 mark, which if we get there, then we can. I'm going to be adding a narrative mini campaign of 4 interlocking narrative cooperative missions called Rain Hell. It's pretty cool. It's like Predator meets Rambo meets Starship Troopers meets Halo ODST and a whole lot of bad news. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to get the books out to you guys, and I will see you again very shortly. Stay fierce.